Unmasking transparency. Trinidad and Tobago's struggle with corruption, ranked as the fourth most corrupted country in the Caribbean. In the realm of governance, the Corruption Index stands as a beacon, shedding light on the perceived levels of corruption within a country's public sector. This index is crafted through meticulous surveys and expert assessments, offering insights into the complex tapestry of a nation's ethical landscape. As we delve into the latest available data from 2022, a stark portrayal of the Caribbean country's standings emerges, with Trinidad and Tobago securing the 9th position, boasting a score of 42 out of 100. As we scrutinize the Corruption Index, a crucial measure of a country's perceived public sector corruption, the Caribbean nations unfold a narrative of governance and ethical challenges. The latest available data from 2022 reveals a nuanced ranking, offering insights into the ethical landscapes of these nations. Let's delve into the standings of various Caribbean countries based on their corruption scores. Caribbean Corruption Index 2022, Rankings and Scores. Barbados. At the pinnacle of the regional ranking, Barbados boasts a commendable score of 65, signaling a relatively low level of perceived corruption in its public sector. Bahamas. Following closely, the Bahamas secures the second position with a score of 64, reinforcing the region's commitment to transparent governance. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. With a score of 60, St. Vincent and the Grenadines claims the third spot, showcasing a higher level of ethical governance. Dominica. Sharing the fourth position with a score of 55, Dominica faces challenges but maintains a mid-range standing in the Corruption Index. St. Lucia. Alongside Dominica, St. Lucia also earns a score of 55, positioning itself in the middle tier of the Corruption Index. Grenada. With a score of 52, Grenada faces moderate challenges in curbing corruption, holding the 6th position in the regional ranking. Cuba. Securing the 7th spot, Cuba earns a score of 45, highlighting a perception of relatively lower corruption in its public sector. Jamaica. Occupying the 8th position, Jamaica contends with a score of 44, facing challenges that position it in the mid-range of corruption perception. Trinidad and Tobago. Positioned at the 9th spot, Trinidad and Tobago faces a notable struggle with a score of 42, indicating a higher than desirable level of perceived corruption. Suriname. Claiming the 10th position, Suriname confronts challenges with a score of 40, underscoring the need for enhanced governance practices. Dominican Republic. Securing the 11th spot, the Dominican Republic faces a more significant struggle with a score of 32, signaling heightened corruption concerns. Haiti. At the bottom of the ranking, Haiti faces substantial challenges, earning a score of 17, indicating a pressing need for comprehensive governance reform. The numerical representation on the Corruption Index serves as a sobering reflection of Trinidad and Tobago's governance challenges. A score of 42 places the nation in a precarious position, signaling a higher than desirable level of corruption within its public sector. This revelation prompts a critical examination of the factors contributing to such a perception, offering a roadmap for introspection and reform. At the summit of this regional ranking sits Barbados, with a comparatively commendable score of 65. The contrast between these two Caribbean nations invites scrutiny into the root causes of Trinidad and Tobago's struggle against corruption. What factors have conspired to tarnish its reputation in the eyes of both experts and the general populace? One prominent factor contributing to this unsettling perception is the trail of unfulfilled promises left by the ruling party. The erosion of public trust often follows in the wake of promises unkept, fostering an environment where skepticism and disillusionment thrive. Trinidad and Tobago must grapple with the consequences of political commitments that have fallen by the wayside, sowing seeds of doubt among its citizenry. Transparency and accountability, the cornerstones of a robust governance framework, are notably lacking in the public spending arena. The absence of a clear and open discourse surrounding financial transactions leaves room for speculation and distrust. Rebuilding confidence in the government's fiscal management requires a renewed commitment to transparency, ensuring that every taxpayer dollar is accounted for and serves the collective welfare. The corrosive influence of money and special interests in politics further muddies the waters of Trinidad and Tobago's fight against corruption. An impartial and fair political landscape is essential for fostering an environment where policies are crafted in the interest of the people, rather than being swayed by the agendas of a privileged few. The nation must confront this insidious influence head-on, redefining the boundaries between political power and vested interests. Lastly, the weak enforcement of anti-corruption laws exacerbates the challenges faced by Trinidad and Tobago. A robust legal framework is only as effective as its implementation, and the nation must strengthen its resolve to prosecute those who violate the principles of ethical governance. Heightened enforcement not only acts as a deterrent but also demonstrates a commitment to upholding the rule of law. In conclusion, the Corruption Index serves as both a mirror and a compass for nations navigating the tumultuous seas of governance. Trinidad and Tobago's 9th place ranking beckons a thorough examination of its internal dynamics and a steadfast commitment to reform. Only through addressing the issues of unfulfilled promises, lack of transparency, undue political influence, and weak legal enforcement can the nation hope to climb the ranks, ushering in an era of integrity, accountability, and trust in its public sector. The journey towards a corruption-free future begins with a candid acknowledgement of the present challenges and a collective determination to forge a path toward a more transparent and accountable governance.